Hello, Kurt Jackson with KJ Financial here with the second episode of our module on the inefficiencies of following traditional financial planning in our Retirement Accelerator Blueprint. And number 2 is to stop chasing average market returns. So do you look at historical return claims when making investment choices? Don't we all? I know they tell us not to, that historical returns do not predict the future, but it's really all we have to go on. So don't we all look at them? So aren't we taught over time the stock market has an average return between 8 and 10%? Do you believe you really earned 8 to 10% returns in your accounts? Do you believe the stock market delivers yearly returns in that 8 to 10% range a majority of the time? Or are the returns each year all over the place, including losses, maybe even big losses? And remember the power of big losses you saw in the last video. Did you realize that when you see those advertised 8 to 10% average returns, they are not what the market really delivers? See, according to research firm Crestmont Research, since 1900, the Dow Jones has an average return of 7.5%. That's without dividends. That average return is calculated by taking the sum of all those returns over a period of years and then divided by the number of years. If we assume dividends average a more recent average of, let's say, 2%, then the Dow has been up an average of about 9.5%, right in that range, right? That's what Wall Street is advertising you can expect to earn in the market over time. Do you think that's what you're actually getting over time? I mean, Wall Street wouldn't lie, would they? And certainly Uncle Sam wouldn't allow them to lie, would he? So here's the problem. When we put money to the equation, the 7.5% average return drops to an actual return. And this is an industry term, compounded annual growth rate, or CAGR. I hate using industry terms with folks, but it's something that you really need to understand. So we'll try to call it CAGR from here on out, or actual return. It's only 5.3%. So we could add that 2% in dividends to make a fairly accurate actual return of 7.3% in the Dow Jones since 1900. So as numbers people, wouldn't the first thing we'd do is see if average annual return versus actual return makes much of a difference? So hypothetically, assume we started with $100,000 and over 30 years of your work life at a 9.5% average return. We would assume it would have grown to $1,522,031. Don't believe me? Go run that on a calculator online. Know what it's at? You know what it is at 7.3% actual return? Think it's higher, lower, or the same? I mean, going from 9.5 to 7.3 means it would be lower, right? Pretty simple to figure that out. Is it a little lower or a lot lower? I mean, it's only 2.2% lower, right? Would you be surprised at 7.3% actual return, your $100,000 only grows to $827,926? Wouldn't that mean the 7.3% actual return is a full $694,105 less than the average returns, $1,522,031? Remember I told you at the beginning that you're likely losing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars? Boom. Now you can see where we're coming up with that. Isn't that 45.6% lower than what the average returns 9.5% should have delivered? You tell me, is that a significant amount? Be honest. Does that sound to you like the market with all its wild swings and returns, including losses, is an efficient place to have your money with the goal of efficiently and effectively building wealth? We know. That goes totally against what you've been taught your entire life, right? Does that mean we're wrong? Are you beginning to see why you probably felt like your investment accounts weren't growing like you thought they should have grown? It's okay if you are, because most folks do once they start to think about this. So do you think the brilliant minds on Wall Street understand the difference between average annual returns and compounded annual growth rates, CAGR? Do you think Uncle Sam understands the difference? Why then do you think it's even legal to be able to advertise a potential average return, which should provide up to 83.84% higher balance, $694,105 lower, is 83.84% of our actual balance of 87,926. That's where I got that from. Or more, depending on how long of a period of time we're looking at. Would it make sense? The shorter the time period, the less the differential. The longer the time period, the more the differential. So if Wall Street and Uncle Sam allowed the advertising of average annual return, when an intelligent person assumes they know it isn't the same as the actual return or compounded annual growth rate, CAGR, should we be considering this a myth or a bold-faced lie? All right, for your retirement plan, should the focus be on average annual return or should the focus be on actual returns, compounded annual growth rate, CAGR? Have you ever wondered why your investment accounts haven't really delivered the balances you thought they would be delivering? Do you think that since we've long been taught to focus on average annual return that we've thought our investment accounts would have been doing better than they have been? Would it then make sense to change your focus and use actual returns when we're comparing investment options? Hopefully this helps you understand one of the ways traditional planning has been misleading you for years and years and why your retirement accounts haven't grown quite as much as you had expected. So you're now ready for the next episode where we're going to address market losses and having time to recoup your losses. So go ahead and click on the video below to check it out.